What's up, y'all? It's your girl Aisha, and I am back with another video. If you're new, welcome to my channel, and if you're not new, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who do not know, I recently went to the DR and I had plastic surgery. I had a tummy tuck and a BBL with lipo 360, and this is just kind of a follow-up update video to my time while I was in the DR. I actually did film this video a while ago, and I tried to pack everything in there from my time when I arrived at the airport, when I got to the recovery house, when I went to the doctor's office for pre-op, for my surgery, for post-op. I was just trying to talk about everything, like trying to cover every possible thing in that one video, and it turned out to be way too long. So I think what I'm going to do is break it up into sections. Maybe use this video to talk about the recovery house, the next video to talk about the doctor, so on and so forth. But before we get into this video, make sure that you guys are following me on Instagram at Aisha the Goat, and you can follow me on Snapchat at It's Mayday. I haven't been posting too much lately because life has just been so busy, but I'm really trying to do better at that and post more. So yeah, make sure you guys follow me on Snapchat and Instagram. So let's jump right into this video. I'm going to be talking about the recovery house. I got a lot of questions about how did I like the recovery house, how was the food, how was the treatment, like how did the nurses care for you, did you like it, did you not like it. So I'm hoping that I'm going to answer all of them for you. When I first arrived at the recovery house, I got there at around 10:30 at night. I was supposed to get there at about 2:30 in the afternoon, but my flight got delayed and pushed everything back. So I got there around 10:30 at night. When my driver, which is Junior, he works for the recovery house, he picked me up from the airport, took me to the house. When we got there, he helped me get my bags out of the car, and the nurses came out and they sprayed me with I don't know, I guess it was like disinfectant, you know, because COVID and all that. So they sprayed my shoes, they sprayed my bag, they sprayed me, they sprayed everything down before you even go into the house. And even though it was 10:30 at night, the nurses were very attentive, they were very helpful. You know, they showed me where my room was, they offered me something to drink, they offered me some food, showed me around the house, showed me the pool. They told me where the other girls, what rooms the other girls were staying in, all that stuff. But for the first night, I was pretty tired, so I didn't do much. I drank some pineapple juice, I think, and I took a shower, and then I went to bed because the next day I had to wake up and go get all my labs and tests and all that jazz done. So a lot of y'all asked me how was the food, because we know some of these recovery houses, the food be kind of... The food at Radiance Recovery House was very good for the most part. For breakfast, there's a menu you can pick from. They have some American style breakfast, and they have some I guess like Dominican style breakfast that you could choose from. For lunch, it was just whatever they served. There was no menu to choose from. For dinner, there was a menu to choose from. They had like burgers, they had pasta, they had fish, they had chicken. It was a good variety of dishes to choose from. My only thing is, if you stay there for 2 weeks like I did, then you kind of start to feel like, okay, I need more choices. Or that could just be a personal thing. But either way, the food was good. The only thing that I didn't like was, I think they had a dish that was bean based, and that's just because I don't like beans. But like I said, I have no complaints about the food. If you get tired of the food, you can always do Uber Eats. It works just like it works here. It's actually a lot cheaper there. But food, A1. The room that I stayed in was a double room. They do not have any private rooms at Radiance Recovery House, but they do have, I think it was only one double room, just the one that I was in. Yeah, I think it's only that one. The rest of them have 3 or more beds in a room. My room was super duper clean. The housekeeping people, they clean every day, sweep, mop, sanitize, change your sheets, clean your bathroom, everything. Like it was super clean. Somebody asked me did I feel safe while I was there, because Dominican Republic, Santo Domingo in particular, does have some rough areas. But where the recovery house was, it was a nice neighborhood. It was a gated neighborhood. They have an armed guard standing at a post, and he controls the gate to get in and out of the neighborhood. And then once you pull up to the house, there's another gate to actually get into the yard, to get into the driveway. So at no point in time did I feel like I was not safe. There were kids running around playing in the neighborhood. There's neighbors. There's, you know, I didn't feel like I was in any danger. Distance to the clinic. Now this one is tricky because Radiance is only about 15 minutes maybe with no traffic. But in Santo Domingo, traffic, y'all. There's so much traffic in Santo Domingo, and they don't follow no kind of rules when they driving. Like red light, green light, yellow light, I don't think that means nothing to them in Santo Domingo. Like you just gotta go to sleep. Like you just gotta go to sleep and just wake up when you get to your destination, because your nerves are going to be shot. Like if your nerves are already bad, then you probably need to pop like a Xanax or something before you get in the car in Santo Domingo, because honey, yeah, it's like that. Luckily for me, my driver, Junior, he was an excellent driver. It's still hectic, you know, no matter how good of a driver you are, it's still hectic because that's just traffic in Santo Domingo. But it does help if you have a driver who is not driving as crazy as the rest of them. Someone asked about how attentive the nurses were after surgery. So when you come home from the clinic, or you know, come to the recovery house from the clinic, the nurses are going to, of course, help you out of the car. They're going to help you up to your room. They're going to make sure you're comfortable. They're going to make sure they got all your medications in order, and they're going to make sure that they know what time you're supposed to take your medicine, how much of the medicine you're supposed to take. They are going to come in like clockwork to make sure that you take that medicine. They are going to come in just to make sure you're comfortable. If you have a tummy tuck like I did, then you're 9 times out of 10 going to have a drain. They're going to make sure that your drain is emptied if it needs to be emptied. They are very, very, very attentive. They even have like the little button that they will give you, and you push the button if you need something, and they have on like a watch, kind of like an Apple Watch. When you push the button, their watch goes off and they'll come to you. Even in the middle of the night when you're sleeping, they are going to come in and check on you just to make sure you're okay, or to administer medicine, whatever they need to do. There was never a time while I was there that I felt like I needed help and I could not get it. I always felt like if I needed something, I could ask the nurse and I would have it, like no problem. Everybody there was very friendly. The nurses were very friendly. The chef was very friendly. The housekeeping people were very friendly, and the house manager, everybody super nice, super helpful. The chef, if there was something that you wanted that was not on the menu, if she had the ingredients to make it, she would try to make it for you. Or, you know, if you have any kind of dietary restrictions, she would try to work with that to try to honor your requests for certain foods and things like that. Did I have a hospital bed? Yes. I did have a hospital bed. The room I stayed in, like I said, is a double room. It was the only room at Radiance that had hospital beds. The hospital bed for me was A1. Like, I requested a hospital bed, so I'm guessing that's why they put me in the double room, because like I said, it is the only room that had hospital beds. But if you have had a tummy tuck, I wouldn't say you need a hospital bed, because you very much so do not need a hospital bed. Like, you can use a regular bed and prop the pillows up and you'll be just fine. But it's just more convenient to have the hospital bed where you can adjust it to, you know, whatever angle you want it at. If you've just had a tummy tuck, you of course want to sleep at an angle, and it was just easier, in my opinion, to push a button and adjust the angle of the hospital bed rather than to have to sit there and prop up a bunch of pillows, and then it's not right, it's not comfortable, so now I got to prop them up again. Sis got to move around, and she just got a tummy tuck, she got a drain, she's sore. I'm good on that. But like I said, you do not need a hospital bed if you've had a tummy tuck, but it is more convenient. So if I were you and I'm looking into recovery houses, I would inquire about if they have hospital beds or not, and if they do, I would try to get one reserved for whatever date that I'm going to be there. Of course, there were other ladies there at the recovery house. Everybody there was mad cool. We all got along. We all used to hang out in each other's rooms, like chill, be talking about stuff. Like, it was kind of like a little sisterhood, but everybody was cool. There was, you know, no one got into an argument with anybody, nothing like that went down, because I hear a lot of stories about recovery houses and girls arguing and blah blah blah. I did not experience any of that at Radiant. Some of the ladies that I was there with, we are still in a group chat, and we chat just about every day, and we keep up with each other's progress, you know, how we're doing since surgery, who's thinking about round 2, you know, who's having complications, what are you doing, what faja are you using, things like that. So we chat just about every day in our group chat. So now that I've talked about all of the great things about Radiance Recovery House, I'm going to talk about some challenges. I don't want to call them negatives or things that I did not like. I'm going to just call them challenges, because none of the things that I'm about to talk about would stop me from staying at Radiance Recovery House again. So like I said, I'm just going to say these were some challenges. First would be the language barrier. Of course, the native language of Dominican Republic is Spanish. So you have some nurses who do speak a little English, but you have a lot of them who speak no English at all. So Google Translate, or whatever translator app you want to use, is going to be your best friend while you're in DR. And the language barrier is not just the recovery house. That's anywhere you go in the DR. It's going to be a language barrier if you do not speak Spanish and if they do not speak English. Like I said, you want to use your translator app. That's going to be your best friend while you're there. Before I get into this next challenge, let me just throw this disclaimer out there. You cannot go to the DR and expect the same standards that you will get here in the United States. You can't. Yes, we are going there to get surgery, major surgeries at that, but at the end of the day, the DR is a third world country. Their standards are not the same as the US. Just put that out there. So that leads me to talk about mask wearing. Most of the nurses would have on their masks, most of the staff would have on their masks, but mind you, these people are there in that house working normally 12-hour shifts, and they're there pretty much every day, so they get kind of lax with wearing the mask properly or wearing a mask at all. But if you ask them, they have no problem and they will put it right on. It's not all the nurses, it may be like 1 or 2 of them, but like I said, you can't expect the same exact standards in the DR as you would get here in the States. And that's just the truth. Another thing is hand washing. A lot of the nurses, when they come in, they'll wash their hands before they, you know, touch you or do anything with you. But some nurses I notice would not wash their hands if they're coming to empty my drain. Like, you know, that's bodily fluid, it's blood, it's other whatever liquid is draining out of me, and she would just come and like take it off and drain it. And you know, for me, I'm like, okay, so did you just drain somebody else's and now you're coming to drain mine? So maybe you didn't wash your hands with them and now you're not washing your hands with me. I don't know, but I just asked her for her safety as well, you know, can you wash your hands and put some gloves on when you're doing this? Again, this is not all of the nurses, but you do get some who get lax, especially if it's the middle of the night and they have to change your drains. Just ask them like, hey, can you put some gloves on, or you know, hey, wash your hands first, because I don't want to transmit anything, blah 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 blah. They won't have a problem with it. Next thing would be getting into your faja. Let me tell y'all, these nurses are going to get you in that faja one way or the other, and they don't care if it's hurting you. They are going to stuff it, because the faja is supposed to be tight. It's supposed to be tight fitting so that it kind of helps with the swelling. So the more compression you have, the better it is for the swelling. And so they are going to stuff all those maxi pads, those foams, those boards, everything in there, and you are just going to feel like you want to punch one of them in the face, because they are going to stuff you like a turkey. Like, they don't have no remorse. And they'll tell you why they're doing it, like, mommy, you need mucho compression, mommy, you need compression. And you just like, bruh. But at the end of the day, they are trying to help you get the shape that you want, the shape that you paid for, the shape that you had surgery for. They're just trying to help maintain it so that, you know, you'll get the best results. But it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Now, as time goes on, it'll be less painful to put your faja on. But you know, right after surgery, where you're still sore and everything's still tender, your scar is still, you know, you just got it stitched up yesterday, like, just don't even put the faja on. Like, just keep the faja at this point. But it's for your own good. So ladies, put your faja on, stay in your faja. I am almost 3 months post-op and I am still sore, I am still swollen. I am able to put my faja on, and it's of course way less painful than it was right after surgery, but it is still like, I can't breathe. Like, this thing is tight, you know, if you're wearing it like you're supposed to wear it. Another thing you may experience in the DR will be power outages. Power outages are common in the DR because their infrastructure is not as strong as our infrastructure in the US. So with that being said, my recovery house had a generator. So when the power went out, the only thing that would really go out in the house would be the Wi-Fi and the heating and AC units, because you know, they don't have central heat and central AC. They have the wall units in every room. So I guess the wall units and the Wi-Fi were not connected to the generators. So whenever there was a power outage, which while I was there, I believe there was only 2 power outages, and I don't think either one of them lasted for more than 30 minutes. So that was not a huge inconvenience, but it is something that does happen in the DR. I've heard crazy stories at other recovery houses where the power went out and they did not have a backup generator. All the food spoiled. The power was out for like 5, 6, 7 hours. I just had surgery and I need lights. Okay, I need you to have a backup generator. So that may be a question that you want to ask when you're looking for a recovery house, because that's pretty important. Ask them, do they have a backup generator? Because like I said, power outages are common in the DR. How was the Wi-Fi? The Wi-Fi was, for the most part, it was pretty good. It would go in and out depending on which part of the house I went to, but in my room the Wi-Fi most of the time worked pretty good. So to sum up my time at Radiance Recovery House, I had a very pleasant experience. I would definitely stay there again if I was going to DR to have more surgery. The pros definitely outweigh the cons, and like I said, I hate to even call them cons because they're not really cons, they're just challenges. But all in all, I would recommend Radiance Recovery House to anybody who is going to Dominican Republic to have surgery. They are very hospitable, they are very friendly, they are very attentive. My driver was on time. Every time he said he was coming to pick me up, he was there at that time. I had no issues. I had no major issues at Radiance, so yes, I would definitely recommend them. That's all I have for this video. Like I said, this one is just a review of the recovery house. The next video, I'm going to try to jump into reviewing the clinic and my actual surgery day and the day after. Just try to talk about more of Dr. G himself, how that process was. But if you guys have any more questions about Radiance Recovery House or about anything, please leave them in the comments below. If I did not already answer it in the video, I will definitely answer it for you in the comments. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for showing me so much love. And I know you guys have been asking for these update videos, so I'm trying to go ahead and start getting them out for you guys. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you for checking on me. Thank you for keeping up with my journey, and just thank you. And again, you can follow me on Instagram at Aisha the Goat, and you can follow me on Snapchat at It's Mayday. Until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. Love y'all.